Hello Nikki, hello Transport Evolved. Speaking about celebrities and EVs, you do obviously come back to the Tesla because the Tesla is really where it's at the moment with EVs. And you spoke about Teslas being the aspirational brand, and I agree with you at the moment. But will they always be the aspirational brand? Elon Musk has said that his aim is to bring out the Model E, which is affordable in the £30,000 or dollars sort of range. But he also mentioned when in the UK that he was working on a car which would be even cheaper than that, maybe even half the price. So when he does that, does Tesla still belong in the aspirational market? Is that still what they are? And will someone like JC having a Tesla mean someone goes out and buys the affordable version of the car? My trip this weekend, yeah, okay, that's interesting. Gonna go by the train, I decided in the end. I was looking at the Ecotricity network to plan out the journey, which would be totally doable on the Ecotricity, which is a free rapid charging network in the UK, free at the moment at least. But no, the charging stations I need, in fact, all three of them, because there are multiple directions I could go in, are currently down. They are rolling out a reliability fix. They sent an email around, and we covered that a while ago. But at the moment, I can't get there with those charging stations, which leaves me to use the method you suggested, which is either go there all the way with polar rapid chargers, which would be 4 there and 4 back, or use the Nissan dealer network for one, and then a couple of polar charging points. Even if I do that at £7.50, I think it is, for a rapid charge for 30 minutes, I'm going to need more than a 30-minute rapid charge because I'm using the full extent of my battery pack, so double that for each rapid charge, so that's £15. I'm going to need 3 of them on the way there, which should be £45, 3 of them on the way back. I'm already at kind of £80–90 to rapid charge my car to get there and back. With the train only costing £60–70, it actually makes more sense for me to go by the train in cost. You talk about wanting one big database for charging stations, and I can totally see where you're coming from because it is ridiculous at the moment. In the UK, we actually have one. Part of the funding for installing charging stations that the UK government gives to these companies, part of that agreement is that they have to give the UK government the information on how powerful that charging station is and where they've located it so it can go into a central government database. How many of these charging network providers have actually done this? Not many, which makes it effectively useless. Couple that with there are some charging providers out there which, when you phone them and ask them how powerful is the charging station at this location because it's not on their map, they don't actually know. You kind of start seeing that a lot of the charging infrastructure that's been put in the UK has been done by companies just wanting money rather than for actually creating an infrastructure of use. But how do you go about creating a database that is up to date, contains everything, when these charging station providers see that data as what they can monetize? That's the part of their business that earns them money. Their charging stations in their locations are what makes you want to use Polar, or makes you want to use CYC, or makes you want to use PodPoint. What did I want to talk to you about? Yesterday, you posted a video on our site and wrote an article about a new Nissan, talking about the sound that the Nissan Leaf makes when it's driving. And they took a load of Nissan Leafs and had a race around a sleepy village in somewhere in Europe, the quietest village, to show how little noise the cars make. And yes, it was completely fabricated, and yes, it was a stunt, and it was scripted, but that doesn't bother me so much. What bothers me is if you can choose one aspect of EVs to highlight to people, this noise isn't the one you choose, surely. Because one, it's not actually that big a deal because you do get hybrids as quiet and you do get some very high-end petrol cars that are as quiet due to sound dampening. 2, it's the part of EVs a lot of people are scared about. People are worried that we're going to be constantly running down kids and old grannies and blind people, and then they go and make a video showing these cars rushing around small streets in a town. It's not a good message to put out there. So my question to you in Transport Evolved is, if you had to make an advertising campaign based upon EVs and could only choose one feature of those EVs, what would you choose? Goodbye, Nikki. Goodbye, Transport Evolved.